Hello from Coleman & Company, and we are here to talk about the Albachem Vinyl Lettering Remover Solvent. So this is an awesome and a must-have if you are in the vinyl business. It literally does what the name of the bottle says. It removes vinyl lettering, but not just lettering, really any type of vinyl. And I'm going to show you how this works, and I'll tell you a little bit about it, and we'll do a little quick demo. So this is designed to use, if you've got a cutter and you cut out vinyl, what you've probably done in the past, or you will do if you're just getting started, is you are going to accidentally put something on upside down. You're going to add the wrong letter or name possibly to a garment, or you might do what I did here, and I'll get a little close up, but you accidentally left a piece of vinyl behind. Maybe you didn't weed it, or just floated in and landed on your heat press right before you pressed it. So somehow you got an extra piece of vinyl that doesn't belong there. And I'm going to show you how to do full removal and how to do a little piecemeal removal too using this vinyl lettering remover. So just a couple things to mention. This is a chemical, and there's all types of fun little warnings on the side. But the main thing is you want to use it in a ventilated area. Imagine it almost like using a paint thinner or a mineral spirit type of situation. So it's got a little bit of that chemical smell to it. You don't want to touch it on your skin a whole lot. I'm not going to wear gloves for the video, but if you're going to be doing this often for a living, then I recommend you have some gloves on. I might get a little drop on this on my hand, so I'm not going to be too worried about it in the video, but definitely good ventilated area. And if you spill it, make sure you can ventilate out wherever you're going to spill, because we're working with a chemical here. But very easy to use, and we make it so it's much easier to use. As you can see, it comes in a large bottle, and it's got a pour top on the top. But it's a very large bottle, and it's a slightly flammable substance, so you don't want to spill it. You want to be careful with it. Now, we do sell a small bottle right here, which is what we use. We use this to store it, and we just pour some of this in here, and this is what we will work with. So the large bottle's in storage, and this is how we can work with it, because it's got a little pop-open top, and you can easily pour it onto little areas for when you have a large area to remove. And we've also got these long cotton Q-tip type of jobs here, and these are great for it because first of all, they're made out of a material that is safe to use with this. If you try to use a foam brush or something, it's not going to work because it's got something similar to vinyl in it that breaks it down. So we'll do two things here. First is I'm just going to show you a quick removal where I'm going to dip a little bit of this in, we're going to put it right on top, and then we're going to go ahead and peel it off. The other tool you're going to use is just some tweezers. These are bent point tweezers. It's the kind that we've got here. I really like them because they've got a nice fine point tip, and we'll have a little video on those as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would remove just this extra piece of vinyl that, as I said, it floated. You didn't put it there. It got there somehow. And I'm going to show you how I would use this. So let's open up the top here. Get a little bit on here. A little goes a long way, and you're better off to go a little bit slow on this. You want to make sure you saturate it so it gets through, but not so much that it wicks out into the material and damages the good stuff you don't want to lose. Normally, per the instructions, you would do it from the inside out. Okay? Now, because this is such a small piece, I'll probably start with the top and then maybe go back in here and do some on the back, or vice versa. So I would find right where I am and put a little bit on the back end. Okay, now with this, as I said, you want to use something just like this. They're not too expensive, so definitely get these as well. But get a little bit of this and just put a little bit on the back. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the front too, as I mentioned, just to get, because I'm trying to be extra careful with it. And that should be enough. It only takes a couple seconds. If it doesn't come up right now, then I'm going to add a little bit more. So let's see how I did. Okay, it's pretty good. I feel there's a little bit of glue left behind, so I'm just going to do a little bit more. Again, you can always add more. It's hard to take it away if it's wicking into your other vinyl. Okay, now I added a little more, and now I'm really seeing it to start to bubble up right now. And that's it. We've removed our vinyl. And if I see a little bit more hanging out, I can add a little bit more just like this. Give it a little bit of an extra rub. Always, just like anything, any product that you put on clothing, no matter what you buy, it always says to check for color fast. So I would go into a little corner of the garment first, especially if it's the first time you're using it, and making sure it doesn't react with the dye. But as far as what I have seen, I have not run into a garment where I've had any color fast issues. It's always worked just fine, and I've used cotton and polyester and jersey style and stuff, and I've always had good results. And that's it. You do not need to do anything else with this right now. I would put it aside to make sure that this doesn't touch your other vinyl, because again, now this shirt is good. There's nothing wrong with it. So you just let this dry. Within 5 minutes or so, it's going to be perfectly dry. That's why they recommend using in a ventilated area and keeping your top closed, which I should have done in the beginning, and just so because it does evaporate pretty quickly. That's how you use it. It's simple. So now there's a next step up, okay? Now we're talking about, we've got a large piece, all right? Let's say that I did not want this here because I already have it on the correct side. You know, I was working so fast, I accidentally put it on both sides of the shirt. I mean, these are just silly things that would happen in the apparel decorating world, but I accidentally put it on the back too. I did, maybe I didn't sleep enough, whatever happened, but I'm going to show you how to get rid of this whole thing, and we're going to use a little bit more and a little bit of an easier process. Actually, it's easier, I find, to remove the whole thing. So first things first is make sure you locate where it is, and now I'm going to want to do this inside out. So I'm still grabbing it with my hand right here so I don't lose it. And what I've got aside here is I've got a little piece of glass. The reason I'm using this is because I only want to get rid of the vinyl on one side. I don't want it to seep through the shirt because I'm doing this inside out. So I know where my vinyl is. I can feel it right here. And I'm going to use this piece of glass. You can use anything that's a non-porous, that's not going to react. I wouldn't use anything acrylic or anything, but glass is a nice piece of material. And here we go. So it's right here. It's in a good spot. And this is when you don't want it to seep through the other side. You can use something in between it to protect it. Probably a piece of wood might be fine too. A piece of aluminum, or I suspect all that would be fine. I didn't see anything on this bottle here telling me you don't want to put it near any fire or any hot glowing metals. Don't use glowing metal behind this, per the bottle. But otherwise, I don't see any particular materials it says to keep away from. But I think glass just seems to work well for a lot of different applications that we use here. So, again, I double check everything. So I'm verifying that I've got my spot. It's right about here. And now this one, as I said, I could be a little bit more generous with this. A little goes a long way still. So I've got it behind here. And if you can see in the video here, you can see that it wicks. You can see where I poured it, but then you can see it wick out. That's why it's important to use these, especially when you're trying to get into a small area. Because a large amount that you pour on, I didn't even pour that much on, but it wicked out. So that's why if you try to put one drop on that one little piece, it's going to wick out and it's going to ruin your whole thing. So now that I've done it, I've got it inside out, and I'm just going to carefully open this up, and you can see what it's done already. And I can actually see, I can already tell I'm going to need a little bit more right here. So I'm just going to go back to it real quick. I'm going to see where I missed it. All right about here is where I could use a little bit more, and I'll just add a little bit more. Generous, not too generous, just like I said before. And you could already see it's coming up pretty easily, if you can't tell already. And And this is basically no work to take this off. This is the answer to thrown away, trashed garments, to mistakes. This is a benefit of using vinyl. If you are new to this business and you haven't used vinyl before, or if you've done embroidery or screen printing or anything like that, I'm going to put on a little bit more, by the way. There's a couple spots where I didn't feel like I got anything. I'll still use these to kind of rub it in. So vinyl's reversible. This isn't going to happen at your customer's house when they're washing it. No, this is going to happen only with this specific vinyl removal solvent material. So, and I'll make sure I got it all. And we're good. That's it. And we don't have to do anything else, by the way. We do not have to run this through the wash. You do not have to add any other chemicals or sop it up or wash it off or anything like that. You let this evaporate off, let it get dry. I just say 5 minutes is a good amount of time. Once it feels dry, or you don't notice a smell or a feel or anything like that, then put some new vinyl right over it and you're done. So remember, this is the vinyl lettering remover. It does not need to be lettering though. It could be any type of vinyl that you put on apparel, and I recommend using it. Be safe, it is a chemical, but it's a highly useful and much more of a time saver and much less wasteful than having to throw away a whole shirt because of a little rogue piece of vinyl or a mistaken name or number. So we hope you enjoy using it, and good luck growing your business with it. Thank you.